What's up? Welcome to Cal's Corner, because my name is Cal and this is my corner. These are my opinions, my ideas, my thoughts. It's my corner, so you're not allowed to be mean to me in this corner, and it's just me, so please bear that in mind when I inevitably spiral out of control. In today's corner, I will be reviewing the Beautiful Disaster film and the book very briefly. So yeah, let's just get into what I have to say about this beautiful disaster. Brace yourselves. Also, just this is the cute, like, it's a mic. Look how cute it is. I don't know if it's gonna even work. Beautiful Disaster was a book published in 2011. The author is Jamie McGuire. Yep. And I'm not going to say how old I was when I read it, but I read it around 2012. And recently, in April 2023, Voltage Pictures released Beautiful Disaster, the film, starring Dylan Sprouse of the infamous Sprouse twins, Zach and Cody. Your Sweet Life on Deck, if you were a diehard, like I was. And it's also starring Virginia Gardner. I don't know who she is, but good for her. Beautiful Disaster revolves around our male protagonist, Travis Maddox, and the female protagonist, Abigail Abernathy. It is very much a novel that is of its era in terms of the lack of diverse characters, the pick-me-girl main characters, and the chauvinistic alpha Chad type guys that are usually the main love interest. I felt like the characters were badly written and I wasn't buying into the chemistry of the two characters. Abby is meant to be this like innocent girl, like this typical stereotypical innocent, pure, virginal, and Travis is meant to be your bad boy with the tattoos, you know, from the wrong side of the tracks, all of that. I just feel like overall this book was very mellow for the genre compared to now what you see in like the dark romance kind of novel situation, which is why I was concerned as to why they would pick a book so outdated to do in 2023.
I have questions.
All in all, I gave the book 2 stars. It was boring, characters were problematic, and the plot was wishy-washy. Now, the movie. That's what we came here for, the movie. Yeah. I can do this. First things first, I need to caveat by saying that Voltage Pictures did this film. And if you don't know, Voltage Pictures are responsible for the After series by Anna Todd being adapted into a film. That is another video entirely about how I feel. But just because they did that film, my expectations of this film were very low. There's also just Dylan Sprouse as being the main lead. Like, what else has he acted in? What has Dylan been doing except being married to like a really hot Victoria's Secret model? I don't know, but he's in this film. Lucky us. At this point, I am just hopeful that Dylan Sprouse can be the man I always knew that he could be. I think he was my favorite of the twin. Like, I think he was like a slightly chubbier one, and I was like... Anyway, let's just get into this movie. The movie starts with our main character, Abigail Abernathy, and she is running away from her home in Las Vegas, and she's just on a bus, and she's emailing her dad, and she's saying that she wants a fresh new start. She needs to get out. We also see like she's from these news articles that comes up on the screen, and she's kind of like this poker prodigy. We know that she kind of has a shady past because she pays her college tuition in cash, and that's white privilege. That is white privilege right there, because I know for sure if my brown butt like went to the college and tried to pay uni fees in cash, they'd be like, hun, where'd you get this Al-Qaeda money? But she gets away with it. She pays in cash, which is very sus, but we'll allow it. We meet her friend America, and her friend, she's like, girl, what are you wearing? She's dressed like a Catholic schoolgirl. She is giving virgin. They're talking about her getting out, getting rid of her chastity belt. Her friend's like, we gotta go out. It's your first day in college. Like, we gotta go. And she's like, no, I want to study. She only cares about school. She's got no time to be like those other girls who want to have a good time. No. She's serious. She was very easily swayed. And they end up at this party, but it's actually a front because it's a secret fight club at the university. Now listen, I've never been in the United States education system. I can only speak from my own experience. In the UK, there would never be, ever, an underground fight club. Like, they just wouldn't. But let me know, if you're American, are y'all fighting each other? Abby's at this fight club slash party slash whatever, and she's not having a good time. But as she leaves, she face plants into a shirtless man's pecs. That is my ideal way to die. This is when we're introduced to like the most annoying leitmotif I've ever heard. Like, every time these two characters are having steamy thoughts about one another or see each other and they're having those kind of like heart eye moments, this song comes up and it's ba-da-da-dow, ba-da-da-dow. It's like something you do like when your friend's crush walks through the door and you're like ba-da-da-dow. It's that. It's a joke. It's not a soundtrack. And yet it's played so often. This shirtless man that she face plants into is, of course, Travis Mad Dog Maddox. Okay. He's like covered in tattoos. He's meant to be like a fighter. He's meant to be like alpha. And she's like, ew, so not my type. But like, he is her type. She's frothing at the mouth. He's just like, yeah, you new around here. Like, mid-fight, he like stops fighting just to talk to her. So we get it. They have an instant love connection. It's love on sight. Love is blind. And even when he is like beating up this guy and like he punches the guy and blood splatters all over her, and even despite that, she's like, okay, hi. So, you know, she's having feelings and thoughts. After this interaction, they kind of come across each other a few more times on campus because they have mutual friends. And every time Travis is like, yo, I'm interested in you want to go out? And she's like, no. You're just like an F-boy. I'm not going to be another like girl that you just have a floozy with and then you just abandon. Like, I'm not going to be another notch in your bedpost. But like, he's still persistent. He's still trying his best to get with her. I don't know why. Abby's just very adamant that she's not interested in him. But if that is so true, Miss Abigail, then please tell me why it is that you're insta stalking him and zooming in on his abs and thinking about him in the shower. And this is like the beginning of what you'll notice a lot in this film, is this constant contradiction. For example, the water goes off in Abigail's apartment, so she goes to her friend's house, America. And who lives there? Of course, it's Travis. He lives there. She's doing her homework in the kitchen and she hears these noises. She's like, goes to investigate. And then she opens the door and she finds Travis doing the devil's tango, if you will, with the little lady. After this interaction, you know, she's repulsed by Travis. She's repulsed by what he's doing and the fact that he didn't even want that girl's number that he just slept with. He is misogynistic. Abby's very forthright in saying that she doesn't like that treatment and how she'll never end up in his bed. And literally, you not, 5 seconds after making that statement, she's in his bed. Explain. And in this scene, the writers want you to know she would never be like other girls and just be sleeping around. She's so pure, in fact, that she's searching for a highlighter in his bedroom and she opens the drawer and there's like condoms and toys of an adult nature, and like one of them starts vibrating. She's like, what is that? Is that his willy? What is it, Catherine? Is it his willy? What is it, Catherine? It's cringy. A lot of these scenes just make my skin crawl. Like, you're a grown-ass woman, you telling me you've never seen you've never seen one? Girl, please. She ends up falling asleep in Travis's arms and wakes up the next morning. Ugh, I'm about to get so mad. No, Cal, calm down. They end up in bed together, just sleeping, and they wake up the next morning and Abby is touching Travis in a certain place. Bear in mind, this is like in a sleep state. She's not aware of what she's doing. I should say that. She's like sleeping and just happens to accidentally be mistaking his member for something else. The sound effects, again, why is there a cat meowing? if he was touching maybe her in there, it would kind of make sense. Anyway, the problematic part about this scene is that she's the one that goes crazy on him, even though she's the one touching him. And they have this argument, and then her friend America comes out with her boyfriend, and she's dressed like a nurse and he's dressed like a patient. Who is role playing this early in the morning before class? I don't know. Do you? After this little fight that they have, Travis and Abby are not talking, and this is when we're introduced to Parker. In the book, he's the character that I think we're meant to think is better for Abby. He's definitely written with more emotional maturity. He's a nice guy. He's not doing anything shady. But of course, nice guys finish last, and so he never gets with Abby. Parker is presented in like a very odd way. They have a meet cute where Abby basically impales him with a frisbee. We're meant to think that this is a university student. That is a full-grown man with a mortgage and 2 kids. He is verging close to his midlife crisis. He likes Abby. Again, we have no reason to know why. She's giving absolutely nothing. But Abby eventually agrees to go on this date with Parker, and Parker takes her to the show, and the show is actually just a boxing match with Travis in it. This is crazy for me because they're not talking, right? Travis and Abby are not talking at this point. They've had the argument. She's not responding to his text, and she is going to the show, and he doesn't know that she's on a date, and he has no idea of her location, yet he's waiting for her at the venue on her date. Just out of the blue, he's just there, and he says to her, like, you're good for me. And from this conversation, the most ridiculous bet comes out of their conversation together. Basically, he says that if he wins the fight, then Abby has to stay with him for 3 months, like in his bed. No, for 1 month. And if he loses, then he has to go without. He has to go without for 3 months. We are meant, as the audience, to understand from the scene that men are trash, and they're just like crazed maniacs that just cannot survive without it. Like, we have to just understand that, because that is the only way that this bet will somehow seem like a fair compromise. He wins, obviously. He wins the fight. So Abby has to stay with him for 3 months. I would never stay with a strange guy that I've just met. We are then given like a montage of them living together, and I think throughout these scenes we're meant to believe that love is blossoming and that they're growing some kind of bond together. So much so that Travis then invites Abby to his family's house for dinner, and this is where we meet him and his brothers, Taylor, Tyler, Thomas, Trent, and then Travis. And there's a lot of nonsensical things and ridiculous things that happen in this movie, but by far one of the most unbelievable things is them trying to convince me that at this dinner, 1 bucket of KFC chicken is going to feed 7 grown adults. No sides. If the product placement is there, place a lot of the products in the frame. 1 bucket. From this dinner, we come to find out that these boys, they're big poker players, and they know of this poker prodigy from back in the day. This little kid was called Lucky 13, and that of course is Abby. And when they find out that information, they just like fangirl about her, like they go crazy, they're so happy. And I think from this moment we're kind of meant to be like, oh, so sweet, she didn't really have much of a family, so this is kind of her chosen family. Like, I think I'm meant to feel something, but at this point I'm just so numb. We return back to the living together montage for this month, and a tickling fight ensues. You see his butt, like a full on Dylan Sprouse butt. 43 minutes 42 seconds. You're welcome. I actually don't know how I feel about seeing Dylan Sprouse in this way. The image of Zach and Cody keep flashing through my mind. I already have enough childhood trauma. Like, I don't need more. Things are heating up with this little tickle fight that goes on, And then Abby pushes him away, and then she's like, you're vulgar, you're a brute. But then she doesn't even get to finish her train of thought, and she's already attacking his face with her mouth. It's the constant back and forth for me. Like, I will need a neck brace because of the whiplash, mama.
We're in the same boat tonight, mama.
She like is giving herself a pep talk in the bathroom mirror because like this is a big deal. She's basically about to lose her virginity. And then Travis is in the bedroom, and while he's waiting, a text comes through from this person, Mick, saying that he misses Abby. And so my man doesn't even waste time to like talk like, you know, a civil adult jumps to conclusions, makes assumptions, and loses his temper and leaves. In the book, Travis retaliates by bringing back 2 girls and having a ménage à trois in the living room. But in the film, he just brings back a stray cat. Him and Abby have another fight, obviously, because she wasn't texting anyone else. It was her dad. And as a way to make up for his crap behavior, he throws her a surprise birthday party. But if you want me to believe that a man in his like early 20s or even late teens is capable of throwing an event at this scale on the time limit that he had, I'm sorry, but I cannot believe that. And he had a DJ, like he had people handing out shots, like he had staff. On one day's notice, that many people coming, like, I'm sorry, but why are you lying to me? We get another really cringy scene because Abby has gotten really drunk because she's just like really confused by the back and forth. And me too, girl. So she just gets hella drunk and she's like, I'm twerking. And as a connoisseur of twerking, I was offended at what I saw. Offended. Eventually, she runs out of the party. Travis runs after her. He's like, what's going on? She's like, you're driving me crazy, boy. I can't be doing this no more. She's not Southern. They both list like all the problems that they have with one another. And great, like this is what I've been waiting for. Walk away. You've both established that you're not good for one another. You have very poor communication skills. You lack emotional maturity to be in a committed relationship with another person. Fantastic. I'm so glad that we've all discussed and come to the same conclusion. But no, that is not what happens. Despite all their very valid points, Travis and Abby are kind of together again. She goes to kiss him and she throws up all over his face. Travis takes care of drunk Abby. I think from the scene we're meant to be like, oh, he's a good guy. Oh, he's doing the bare minimum and being a decent human. That's so cute. I can't wait to get on this ship and sink and drown with it. Abby then drunk dials her dad, who's played by Megan Fox's ex-husband. And is he okay? Because he's lost his wife to Machine Gun Kelly and now he's filmed this movie. And then, as if this film wasn't already testing the tiny amount of patience I have left, they give us foot content. 1 hour, 3 minutes. You're twisted. He's massaging her feet and then starts massaging. You get it. We don't need to talk about it. They bang. Just like the book, there's no chemistry, there's no passion, there's no fire, there's nothing. It's just it's dead. It's just dead. Like how I wish I was watching this. After this like little crescendo in their little love situation, Abby leaves to go to class the next day, and this guy pulls up in a G-Wagon. Up in a G-Wagon, yup. This guy says to Abby, if you don't come with us, we're basically gonna break your dad's legs. What are you gonna say to that? She goes. We find out that her dad owes this bad guy like $100,000 and she has by midnight to get him the money or that's it. Abby agrees and Abby gets completely body snatched. Like the sexy vixen femme fatale demon has possessed this girl's body. That Catholic schoolgirl, that virgin that you met at the beginning of this movie, no, she's gone. She's gone. And what we have instead is this menace. She's like a total menace in the casino. She's like making gestures like she's really doing so much. But she's a girl boss. She's a gatekeeping, gaslighting girl boss, and she makes the money. She does the damn thing. And we're like, yay, I'm so happy for you. Finally, is this movie gonna end? No. As she's leaving, this guy that she used to know in high school, he's like, yo, Abby, what's up? I know you're underage. Hell no, you're not leaving with that cash. I'm gonna have to take that from you, babe. Soz, but that's mine, eh? Not to worry. Because her boyfriend, who, by the way, he's not heard from her in like less than 24 hours. She's not given any inclination that she's in any kind of trouble. Like, for all he knows, she's just having a normal day at uni and she's really busy and hasn't responded to his text. Instead of just being normal and just being like, yeah, she's fine, he's like, I gotta find her, she's missing. Oh, I gotta track her down. Abigail's like talking to these bad guys and he's like knocks down the door, and we have to endure like another comedic fight scene where I'm meant to think that Dylan Sprouse is like some world-class heavyweight champion boxer, and I'm like, I could take him. I think I just want to fight. I want to fight whoever made this movie.
I'll take you.
Anyway, Travis beats up the boys and he rescues Abby, and then, oh god, this next scene, you guys, it is like the most insane, spicy love scene you'll ever see. Like, she's like, I hate you, you make me crazy, and then runs into his arms. They get into the hotel room. Travis picks her up. She then pushes him against a mirror. He breaks the mirror. He pushes her against a desk. She breaks the desk. They break the bed. They break the sink. She tears her dress. Suddenly they're in the shower. I think they break the shower. The water is running. Cats are meowing. Dogs are barking. Police sirens are blaring. There's a guy next door going, keep it down in there. There's so much going on, and this is meant to be like peak romance. They've confessed their love to each other, and you're giving me this absolute beautiful disaster. They're giving me a disaster. After this scene, Travis sees that there's like this crazy fight against this absolute beast of a man, and there's a cash prize, and he thinks that if he wins this fight, then he can get the money and he can save his girlfriend. It's nice. While he's going to do this, Abigail finds out that she's been double-crossed by her own father. She sees the guy that took the money away from her, the high school friend. She sees him and her dad in this parking lot, and they're doing some dodgy dealings. Basically, he set her up and he was going to take the money the whole time. What's a girl boss to do? She tases both of them and takes the money. I respect that. She's like, Travis, I've got the money, you don't have to do the fight. But it's too late. Travis is having the fight. The man that he's fighting, like, he could actually kill him. It doesn't happen because there's a fire that breaks out in this makeshift venue. Abby just has to rescue Travis and his friend from the fire, and then Abigail comes to this realization that she's in love with Travis, and they decide to get married in Vegas. And that's the end. That's the end. We survived. We made it. Us together. Okay, so my thoughts, like, I'll just start with the positives. There were some good parts, like there actually was. When Travis is flexing in the mirror, like trying to get himself all sultry and seductive for Abby, I thought that was really funny. And probably in the context of any other film, I would have appreciated it. There's also the scene where Parker and Abby meet for the first time and he's hit in the crotch with the frisbee. She says to him, you should go and ice your balls. And he goes, you should ice my balls. And I laughed at that because I'm a child, and that was really funny. I appreciate that this movie went more along the lines of like the comedic angle rather than it being like an angsty teen romance like the book was back in the day. I think because of the After series and that being really quite serious and toxic, they probably didn't really want the nature of this relationship to be taken in the same way. There's no character development Wait, I'm meant to be telling you what I liked about this movie. Like, no one's going into this movie thinking like, am I going to be blown away by the cinematography and dialogue? No, you're not. No. Also, just the music. Genuinely just so confused as to why they've adapted this book. There is nothing different between the Abby that we meet at the start of this film and the Abby at the end, except that she no longer is a virgin and she has a boyfriend. Same for Travis. He now sees women as human beings. What is the message of this film? Tell a guy that you hate him continuously even though you think he's hot, but inevitably going against all your morals and ethics and hooking up with him anyway. Listen, like, I'm not mad, but I'm disappointed. Just like the book, I've given this film 2 stars because I'm generous. But you guys, that is all I have for today. If you've made it this far, genuinely, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and show your support by commenting in the section below. Please do me a favor. Yeah, please comment. Please let me know that I'm not alone in this world. I would love to know what you guys thought about this movie. Did you love it? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe this movie is brilliant. I want to be convinced. Try and convince me. Until then though, thank you so much. Please take care of yourself, and hopefully I will see you very soon.